Okay. So, hi everyone. Welcome to this respective workshop or webinar over your data structures and algorithm. So, here I, Shambhavi Gupta, I'll be taking further to you towards this workshop over your data structures and algorithm. Like, why is it important? What are the things we have it here? What are your important things that you learn in for cracking up your fan companies? And all the things we'll be discussing up over here in a lot of detail. So I hope you all might be excited for this respective workshop. If you can show me some excitement over here.
Yes, Shambhavi, we are really excited.
Awesome. Great. So I'll just turn on my camera for talking some of the things, and then we'll be further starting on with our respective things and what are the things we are having in plan for today. So I can see some of you over here. So it's awesome, guys, that you all are here. Happy to see you all, guys, over here. So as I was telling you, as I was talking with you all about that fan companies, right? So we all literally having up a dream of moving over and going towards the fan companies, cracking over those and entering on those companies for some good positions, right? And whenever we are even into our college, into a first, second, third, fourth years, so we all are always told out that you have to be good at DSA. That's your data structures and algorithm, right? You have to be very good at that particular thing. So as to cracking up your MNCs, cracking up your fan companies. Right. So what that DSA actually is, what is it actually? Why do we really require that? And what type of things are being asked up into your interviews for these types of companies? That is what we will be discussing up into this respective workshop and this respective live over here, right? So I'll just allow me a minute. I'll just try to open in a chat over my phone and then we'll be proceeding in further. Just a minute, guys. So hi Pushpak, welcome to this workshop, welcome to this webinar. I'm happy to have you over here for this particular webinar. So like it's really great over this platform. It's a metaverse platform. Here we are, and I hope it might be a new experience for all of you also over here to be. Great. So talking about your DSA a little bit, I'll share in my screen, but in a very short while. First of all, let's talking over that what DSA actually is. It stands in for your data structures and algorithm. Right, that's the basic thing which we all know over here. Hi Ankit, welcome to the webinar. So we all know that DSA, that stands for your data structures and algorithm. That is a quite very important thing for your interviews. Right. So in that, what comes? See, if we're talking about in a very simple language about this DSA, so it's all about checking up your ability to write up the codes. It's all about checking up that how simply or how accurately you can solve up any respective problem. See, once you enter out into a respective company or at any respective companies, you go at any positions, right? So there you might have some product which you have to make, you might have some problems which you have to resolve in, right? So DSA is that sort of a technique, I would say, or that sort of a thing which literally helps you up for solving out those problems, for figuring out the solutions for those, for helping you to building up of the products and all those respective things. So that is what DSC, that is your data structures and algorithm is. Okay, Pushpak. Thank you, Shambhavi. It's great to attend your session. Thank you, Pushpak. I'm really happy to have you over here. Thanks a lot. So it's all about that same thing, right? Now, if we're talking about that, what are the things that is being constituted, but before that, there is one thing which is mostly said by all of us that DSA can be done in by one respective, I would say, any one of the programming languages, right? So that's one of the misconception which many of us have up over here, right? So it's not at all like that. You can do the DSA using Python, using Java, JavaScript, C, C++, C Sharp, whatever language you prefer out. It's all about your own, hands-on onto the respective language. Whatever language you are in good with, right? You can start with that respective language. You can study. You can go with that particular one, and you can learn from that particular language, including up your DSCs and the things, and you can further go and crack up your companies, right? Okay, Manish, how to crack man? Sure, Manish will come to this question. Absolutely, I'm going to answer this question in a very, very, very short way. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just stop sharing in my camera. What I'll do, I'll just try to share in up a sort of a PPT over here for you all. And just allow me a minute, guys. And to, okay, 1 second. Okay, so is this particular one visible to everyone? If you can get in some confirmation or anything from your end. Okay, then. Perfect. Great. So yeah, this is like I'll be just like discussing in about the complete guides towards your data structures and algorithms, and that's what I'll be discussing in with you people over here. So, uh, data structures and algorithms, it's helping you to crack in all of your respective job roles, talking about your software engineering, talking about your, I'll say, what's your the web development or your app development, your data science, ML, AI, all each and every single place is being required in your data structures and algorithms, right? So here, what actually you get in is you get in some simple type of problems to solve it. Let's say if I'm talking about any real world problem with you all over here. So I said that, okay, let's say I have an array over here. Okay, I have an array over here. Into that array, I have some 5 elements. Okay, let's say elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, those elements, what do I want? I just want to remove out one element, which is third, the number which is 3. I just want to remove out that respective element from my complete array which I have in. Into this, there are many different types of algorithms which you can use in for removing out that particular element from your array, right? They can be a linear search, you can do the binary search, you can do some sorting techniques, right? Bubble sort or merge sort or any type of sortings you can apply. But there are numerous of things which you can do, and that's absolutely a sort of a good options for you which comes up over there. But one thing is there, and that is what is the perfect one which you have to choose. What's the best algorithm which you can put in up over here, which can reduce your time complexity, I mean to say, which can reduce up the time of the working of your code, even which should not take a lot of space onto your memory, right? Because we know that memory is the main thing which every time makes up the issues for us. We need to do something which is not taking up a lot of memory and all those stuffs. So that is what is to be done up over there, right? You just simply require that respective thing. You just have to sort in a find up an algorithm which is perfectly suiting in out over to you over there, and that's all done, right? That is what you do up into the DSA. That is your data structures and algorithm. If I can get enough a quick confirmation in the chat box by everyone that am I clear whatever I have told you people over here about the DSA up till now? Are we clear with the same stuff, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the confirmation. Perfect, everyone. Okay. What I'll do. Okay. Thank you, Pushpak. Thank you, Pushpak, for the confirmation. Acha. Now, whenever the term comes, that is your data structures and algorithms, and that is your DSN. I'll just do one thing. I'll just try to switch on my camera now for a short while. Let's talk in some of the things. Okay, perfect. So what I'll do, we'll just try to talk in something about your man companies, as mentioned by Manish over here about that, how to crack up the man companies, right? Now, see, there are many people who say that okay, come cracking the man companies is quite very difficult. You need to do that, you need to do this, and all those stuffs. I'm not saying that it's very, very, very simple. It's not like that also, but I'm not saying that it's difficult also. Like because the thing is, you should be master over the DSC. You should have a good knowledge of the data structures and algorithm, and that is your DSC. And once you're having that respective knowledge, you are all done with all the stuffs. Okay. So once you're having a good knowledge of your DSA, that is your data structures and algorithm, in the interview rounds, that if okay, let's say if we're talking about your Google, so there what happens? Some 3 or 4 interviews are taken up over there, right? So into that perspective, one, what happens? First round of your interview, it goes in for your data structures and algorithm only. Okay, there you have the DSA. The questions are being asked out for you based on the DSA. You get in some 2 or 3 problems to solve it. Okay, using the data structures and algorithms. So it means like you need to write up the code. Fine. Now into that code, what is to be written? The things which are to be written up over there is all based over your algorithms which you are having, or which particular algorithm to use, which not to use, or how to apply up the stuff. So it's all about that same thing, right? So that respective algorithm you need to choose and solve up the problems. That might be some real world problems and not the real world problem also. It's not a bigger one. So you need to figure it out of that respective thing. Fine. Once you are done with that particular one, once you are done with the same stuff, what is next required is you will require something as in like your, if I will say second, if you clear the first round, you go on to the second again, you have that technical one only, where some of the people from that particular company might be sitting and they will be looking over you for your again the questions. Again they'll be looking out for your questions based over your DSM, data structures and algorithm, right? So that is again goes in your second round, and third one goes your interview, where you are being interviewed based over your whatever the role you have applied, whatever the skills or the knowledge you are having. So it's all about that main thing. So DSA is completely about solving up your problems. It's all about writing up the codes in the as simpler manner as you can write. Right now, if we take up any real world problem, let's say I have up some data with me. Okay, let's say if I give you an example, I have up some data with me. I need to filter up that data. Right. So filtering up that data can be done in many different ways. I can use any respective function also. I can write up a 10 line of code also for filtering up that data, right? In that same manner, you can also in the DSA, you can also write up some of the stuffs, as in either you can simply use up any algorithm to solve up any problem, or you if you have any other method which will take less time, so you can use up that respective method also for solving up that particular question. Two things are always taken care of into that DSA. The one thing is that how much time complexity you can reduce. It means that how you can write in the program which can take in less time for you to get executed, right? You have to write in the programs in such a way that will take up the less time to get executed. Means when you are going to give up a very high number of values into that, then also how they can get the time reduced for you, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is all about the space complexity. It means that how much less space has to be taken by you at your end, right? So whatever the numbers, whatever the things you're writing, how much less space they are taking up into your memory. These are the two factors onto which your whole DSA depends and whole DSA belongs up also, right? So these are the two things which you have to take in care of while cracking up your man companies about the DSAs and whatever the respective roles you are applying. If you're applying for software developer, so you'll be having up the skills based over that. If you're applying for data scientist, you'll be having up the roles based over that. So it's all about that same thing. And nowadays, so even in your data science, in machine learning, in AI, deep learning, all these roles also, the very first role, the very first interview is of DSA only. So first of all, you have to go and cracking up the DSA, and then you can further proceed in up, and you can solve up the respective things, and you can go up with the further of the stuffs. So that is how all of the things are working up over there. That is how all of the things are taking place in this current era today for your DSA, right? So I hope I had just made that very clear to you about the man companies also, like what are the things. If we're talking about some important topics from your DSAs, so that is you will be requiring the searching and the sorting algorithms, okay? The time complexity, the space complexity, there's something comes as in your heap, stacks, arrays, queues, so big O notations, all these are the things which are really very, very, very required for you. Always make sure to remember about your stacks, queues, and the heaps which we have up into your DSAs only. It's on all the languages, any language you prefer out, right? And the algorithms, which are your searching algorithms, sorting algorithms, your notations. So into that only it comes about time complexities, space complexities, and yeah, that's all what the complexities and everything you have up over there, right? So that is the one thing which you require up really in real to crack up your man companies, right? So I hope I'm clear with that same stuff to everyone.
Yes, Sambhavi, it is very clear to us.
Okay, awesome. Great. So talking about these things, so I have talked in a lot over here about the DSA, what is it, and the things. Now, I was telling you one reason that why is okay. Pushpak, thank you for the confirmation. Okay, Manish, thank you for the confirmation. Great. I was even talking in about that. Why is DSA like mostly asked? Why is it important to be good in DSA? Because actually now when you are able, actually it is sort of an analytical thing. If you're talking about analytical, so it's something which I say that you require you use up your brain actually to solve up some sort of a problems, right? So from that the interviewers actually try to test in that, okay, if you are able to put up your this much of brain into this particular problem, try you can solve up this respective problem into this particular manner. So yeah, further coming into the company also, if you get in some sort of problem, some sort of issues to be resolved out for the product or for any product which you are building, so yes, you will be capable of doing up all of those respective stuff. So that is the reason that DSA is preferred out a lot. We all say that you have to learn DSA, you have to learn DSA, you have to learn DSA. But why do we actually have to learn the DSA? This reason we generally do not know. So that is the reason they are trying to check in up your analytical thinking, the ability to think, the ability to solve up the problems into the real manner, so that further going up into any respective company, any problem occurs into the product, if you're having any sort of issue into the product, so how can you resolve up that respective issue, what methods can you apply, because we know what are the products you'll be building, those all might be you'll require a lot of coding for building anything, right? You talking about any software, any app, any website, anything you're talking. So if we require a lot of coding for the same thing, right? So again in that particular, with the help of your codes, with the help of your programming, how can you actually solve up a respective issue, how can we actually solve our respective problem, that is what is being taken care of, that is what is being looked by your end, by the interviewers end into a interview with the help of your DS and A, okay, DSA, that is the respective thing. So that is one. Yeah, rather than other the people like literally they say that DSA is very difficult to learn it, it's quite very difficult. And here you know one thing more come, that is your competitive programming. So in competitive programming, yes, if a person is doing competitive programming, so yeah, there the DSA might be for that person, it might be very good, or you require a good DSA for being at a good position into that particular competitive programming and everything, right? Okay, these also I have discussed in what is it, what are everything. Now, if we're talking about your way to learn the DSA, that's the very one thing which is really a lot asked out by people, that how to learn DSA, what's the best approach to learn the DSA, right? Because Everything I have told about why is it required, why is it not required, why is it important, which companies, what's the method, everything I have told in the topics also. But what's the correct approach for learning up at DSA? First is that I won't say anything like that, but see what I can say. Key for learning up the DSA, the best approach is the practice. It might sound a little bit funny to everyone, but no, it's not really. See, in DSA, what is, you have some programming, you have some coding topics, right? That's what you have up over here. You have arrays, you have stacks, you have queues, and that's all what you have up over here. Now you have to write up the codes for all of those stuffs, right? So while learning DSA, start with a very basic topic. Okay, start with the strings. Go with the strings, come on to the tuples, then list, then dictionaries, then go to arrays and move to stacks and move to queues, then move to heaps, then go on to your sorting techniques, then go for your other respective algorithms. This is the respective manner that you have to do. Don't start with your bubble sort or your searching techniques. You don't start with that. If you're going to start in, you will not be able to understand what is being done up over there, because the basic which has to be learned in for writing up those respective algorithms, it's not done at all by your end, right? So I request you, once you're starting your DSA, start with the very basics. For many of us, what happens now, we see up a topic and we see that, oh, I know this, I am very good at this. Again, we shift on to the next page. Oh, I know this topic also, I'm very good at. Let's shift on to the third page. But knowing up a topic and the ability to solve up the any problem of a topic, both are some different things, right? So you have to make sure that you are not only knowing up a topic, but you are having up that ability also to solve up that respective problem, right? That is what is being to be taken care of in your DSA. And DSA, start learning topic. Let's say today you learned out list. That what are lists, the functions of your list, and what you can do with the list, right? You learned out that respective thing. Practice as many questions as you can, because internet is completely full of a lot and a lots of your respective resources to study. Even onto my channel also, that is Fun with Data Science, I provide you out a lot of stuffs over the DSA which will help you to crack up your man company. So you can go over there as well and check it out. So you have a lot of resources to solve up a lot and a lots of coding questions, your programming problems. So go ahead, check those out, try to solving out those problems, try to solving out those respective codes, try to solving out those programming problems, right? That is what is to be taken care of by you at your end. Once you learned out list, you solved up all the questions, now you're quite confident onto that. Now you have to actually go move on to the next topic. You moved on to the next topic, you moved on to the next and next topic, and like that you learn 2-3 topics. Now after learning 2-3 topics, stop at that particular place. Again, now take up some mixture questions which require your topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3, which you have learned at your end. Mix up all those 3 topics and then further proceeding up and try to learn up those stuffs. Then proceeding up and then try to practice enough from the previous 3 topics which you have learned. That is what will really help you out in being a good programmer in your competitive programming and in cracking up your man companies, right? That is what is being required up over here. You have to be very good at practicing. You have to be very good at solving up the questions. You have to be very good at solving up the stuffs which you have up over there, right? So learn other topics, practice as much as you can, then learn 2-3 topics. Now again take some problems which combine all the 3 topics. Fine, practice up those problems. Next shift on to the next set of 3 topics. Do the things, practice the problems, again combine those 6 topics, practice up the problems for all those topics. It's not that from the very starting you're taking up some problems which are very of the advanced level and you're just simply solving those out. It's not at all like that. You won't be able to solve in the starting, then you'll feel depressed, then you will think that okay, DSA is not my cup of tea, how will I crack the man companies, then you'll look in for some other things, and that's all how your 4 years will be completed. So that you do not have to do, you just have to learn first of all the things, then proceed on up with the other stuffs about the practicing and all those stuff. So that is what is the correct approach to learn up your DSA. It's not that you have to take up a paper and a pen and write out their stuffs and all like that. I won't suggest you all those stuff because everyone has a different manner of learning. Let's say if I have a manner of learning with the notes, it's not necessary that you will also require notes, right? It's not necessary. You might do only some rough work and you can learn up the things. So that I won't suggest, but yeah, practicing I'll suggest, and the manner which is from moving from basic then intermediate then to advanced level, that is what I really suggest you out over there, right? So make sure that you are doing up those respective stuffs, following out that particular things at your end. So solving out these types of I'll say the coding problems, the DSA problems, right? So move on with the basics, then intermediate, and then advanced level. For practicing, internet is completely of you. Do as much practice as you can through the various social networking sites as well. You get in the questions over there. Even you get in up a lot of questions over the Google right away. You can just simply type up a topic, let's say array questions, and you'll get a lot of questions to practice out. So practice out all of those respective array questions also at your end, right? Do that practice of the questions. Even you can try up some hackathons, you can try up some hacker rank and all those stuffs for competitive programming if you want to compete with other people. In that manner, if you're a person who does a competition and then learns it very clearly, so yeah, you can go with those particular sites, try the hackathons and all those things, and practice as much as you can. So DSA and these things, these are all about your logical and the thinking ability and your practice. It's all where your DSA lies now, right? So great. I hope I have cleared up this perspective thing as well to everyone about the DSA. Am I?
Yes, Shambhavi. So I think the doubts were cleared. But
Mm-hmm.
like as you explained, like initially we have to have, we have to basically start with the basics, like step by step approach, and combine our
Mm-hmm.
study with the competitive programming. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you suggested.
Yeah.
So I really want to know, from a very simple standpoint, like
Mm-hmm.
let's say we are in the first year. Let's say there's a
Mm-hmm.
student who is in the first year of engineering, and
Okay.
he want to crack the bank. Okay, so what will be the first thing that you suggest him to do? Actually, let's say even he don't know basics, nothing. He don't belong
Mm-hmm.
to CS background. Let's say, okay,
Hmm.
he don't belong to CS background, but he want to crack the
Mm-hmm.
bank companies. And
Okay.
for that particular individual, how do you suggest actually?
Okay. Okay. So if you're a person who is not belonging to any CS background or any sort of technical background, so first of all, I want you to search in that which respective field you want to go in further with, right?
Okay.
Because completely in the market we have different types of fields. So how you can search it out? What you could do, you can refer out some websites or any videos where you will try to understand what is software developer. Okay,
Mhm.
what is the job role of a software developer?
Okay.
What is a data scientist? What is the role of a data scientist? Or what is a ML engineer? What is the role of a ML engineer? So whatever the fields currently we have in the market, go with those. Try to understand what is the role, what is the programming language needed over there, and what actually you have to do if you are a data scientist or a software developer. What is will be your role, right? Understand. Now try to find in which you can fit with. I know it might be difficult for you in the starting to find it out, but at least you can search in that. Let's
Mhm.
say data science require mathematics. So if you do not have any interest in mathematics, so you can go to the web development or app development stuff. Right? If you have interest in mathematics, you can go with data science or machine learning. These types of things you can choose on with. Once you have chosen, now figuring out that every field has its own programming language.
Okay.
DSA has Python, software developer has Java, web app has JavaScript, right? Now, whichever field you are going with, choose that programming language and start to learn coding. Start to code. Take any respective course or take any respective website, any channel, anywhere, wherever you wish out, and start learning how to code, how to write the programs in Python, or how to write the programs in Java, or how to write programs in C or C++, or whatever language you chose out. Once you are done with the basics of that particular programming language, right? Once you have learned up that particular programming language, if you're a non-CS person, it might, if you're learning properly in a very proper manner, devoting 2 hours every day, it
Mhm.
will take somewhat 1 or 1.5 months for you to learn that basics of programming very, very good in a very, very, very good manner.
Okay.
Once you are done up with that basics of any programming language, now come to the DSA. start with your data structures and algorithm, right? In that DSA, in the starting, you have some topics which are common in the basics of your programming only. So some topics you might have already learned of the DSA in your basics only, right? Now start with your DSA, start like learning of the topics a little bit. Don't jump onto the practice very quickly. Don't jump over some hackathons or anything like that. You will get a little bit demotivated because in the starting it's difficult to solve out that questions. So start out with that, learn the DSA, right? Once you are a little confident that now I can solve up some problems, start taking some random problems from Google or from any website and start solving out those. It will require somewhat of 3 months of time if you devote 2 hours every day, very wisely, very properly. It will take 3 months of you to do up all of these stuffs, and you will be very, very, very good ready for proceeding in onto the hackathons, for proceeding in onto the competitive programming stuffs and all those respective things. That is the way how a non-CS person can start learn coding, start your programming journey, and further you can come onto this technical field and pursue your respective job role or your whatever field you want to in.
Got it. It makes a perfect sense for me, to be honest. Samavi, actually, I have one last question, which was
Sure.
really genuine question from my end. So, you are still studying at the moment, and I have seen a YouTube channel. You are running data science. In the middle, I believe you also ran some courses on IAS, on some civil courses as well. Now you are running on
Yes.
DSA. So it's really kind of interesting thing to see, doing multiple things at the same time. And so I really want to know, like, what message do you have for the youth of India? Like, how to manage time. That's the first question. And secondly, like, how to aim higher in the life. So these are two questions from my end.
Okay. So first is about the time management. So see, once actually I was also in the starting. I was very sort of a one that I don't have time. How will I do this? How will I do that? I don't have time into my further day. I need to do this, that. How will I do all these stuffs? How will I continue the channel? How will I make the videos? Everything I was also having into my mind. So one day, what I said, got a suggestion from my
Mhm.
dad that okay, take a paper and a pen and try to write in that every single time that okay, at what time what you did and everything, try to make it up a timetable for yourself, right? I started from the morning that okay, I need to do this, I did that, I did that, this, and I'm all done. You will literally not believe I was having some 4 to 5 hours still left into that page and I wasn't able to fill those time because I wasn't doing anything at that particular time. So
Got it.
actually we think that we are very busy, I don't have time into my life for doing this freelancing or for doing this particular hobby or for pursuing this particular career. I don't have my any time into myself.
Mm.
But once you try to pen down that what you have done in one day and how much time you have wasted, you'll automatically understand that you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
That I understood at that particular sort of time. Then what I did for my time management, first one is that as I am also a college student, so whatever the college studies I have in, whatever the assignments, whatever the things, whatever my professors teach me out, I just try to finish up those into my college only. If it is my college is 9 to 3, 9 to 4, 9 to 5, whatever the timing it is, that complete time I prefer donating it onto that particular college studies only, so that coming into my afterwards after 5 or before 9 in the morning, I don't have to study anything for my college.
Mhm.
That's the one thing which I do. Second thing, I really stay very, very, very away from social media. That's one thing which is literally takes up your time. You'll never you'll never think or you'll never know that how it's been 3 hours for you to scroll the Instagram. You'll never know that when it's 3 hours and you were just scrolling the Insta and all that done,
Yeah.
right? So stay away from social media as much as you can. It's not that okay, I'm suggesting you not to be updated that what is happening in the market. Be very updated, but fix up a time for that.
Mhm.
Fix up that okay, I have to use Insta half an hour in a day or 1 hour in a day. That what time you have to fix it up for the stuff. That is the second thing.
Okay.
And yeah, other things that you can do, you can chill out into your college, you can go ahead with the stuffs whatever you are doing. And when you will save up that social media time now, you'll automatically get time. Literally, you'll automatically get time, and you'll know that where was my time getting wasted. Now I have the time for further pursuing my hobby. If I need to learn something, I can learn. If I need to do other stuffs, I can do. And yeah, that is what time management I'll suggest out to everyone. That whatever time you are doing, whatever, try to finish it into that time span only. We say that okay, I need to do this assignment, I'll do it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We just try, like, literally slowly and gradually now we try to procrastinate. So that what even will disturb up your time management stuff. So don't procrastinate, do whatever is it into that sort of.
Yeah. I believe we lost her. Some technical errors. I think we lost Shambhavi in middle, but we believe that the session was really informative for all the audience who were attending the session, and she covered bits and pieces of how we can get started uh, over DSA when it comes to man companies. So we believe it was a very informative session for all of you. And if you guys have any queries with respect to DSA, please let us know in the chat section. And meanwhile, if you guys want to experience a similar platform for your learning experiences, you guys can download the application by visiting our website. Thanks a lot. So this is all from our end. Yeah. Bye bye, guys, and see you inside the platform.